when we see all these horrible, and there's no other way to describe it, horrible pictures in Gaza, I can tell you that Israelis think of one thing, and this is October 7th. October 7th was probably the hardest day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust. Just think about that. And does it...
All right, hey, okay. Here's some information. All right, this is what I was looking for. It would take about 70 October 7th. Okay, about 1,139 people, Israelis, were killed on October 7th. It would take 70 October 7th to equal the lowball number, 80,000 Palestinian deaths. It would take 70 October 7th. So unfortunately, I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care how you feel about the Holocaust. I don't care if this was the worst incident since the Holocaust. Guess what? I don't care. That doesn't give you the right to, let alone kill this many innocent people and then defend it on top of that. And you want to start the conversation off with October 7th, the Holocaust? Guess what? I don't care. Do not care. Hey, thank you for clicking this video. Just to let you know, this is a clip from my previous live stream that I did. Just want to let you know I go live every Sunday through Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. And if you don't know what time that is, go ahead and Google that so you can meet me and have a conversation on my next stream. Once again, I appreciate you clicking this video. Now let's enjoy the video. All right, so when it comes to Gaza, when it comes to the Palestinian people, when it comes to Israel, okay, I done probably made 50 videos about this, and I don't want to say that it's getting stale with the messaging, but how many times or how many other creative ways can you say about 80,000 people? And that's low balling it right there, okay? 80,000 plus people killed since October 7th. Over 140,000 injured. Once again, low balling it, okay? How do you explain that to people? How do you get that point across to people, especially if they still defend Israel? Once again, I have no strings on me. I'm a free man. Nobody pays my bills. I say what I want, and I mean what I say. So when it comes to Israel killing innocent people, why do we have to explain this to people? Once again, you don't have to be a Democrat, you could be a Republican, whatever the case is, but at some point you have to be a human being and be like, hey, I support Trump, I support Harris, I support Bernie, whatever the case is, but this situation right here is bad. Genocide, call it whatever you want. Ethnic cleansing, whatever. Why is it still a conversation about Israel defending itself or Israel trying to get Hamas? At this point, like, it was some numbers that I read a few months ago that Hamas was about 10,000 strong, give or take. 10,000 people. They've killed over 80,000 people. And I think Hasan says it in his video, which was news to me, but they reports say that they believe they killed about 7,000 Hamas members. Okay, cool, got you. Okay, whatever. If that's who you want to kill, go for it. But you done killed what, 3,000 civilians? For what? And here's some math for you, okay? Do I have it on here? I don't have it. Maybe I'll bring it up when we start the video. Here's some information just this past couple of weeks here. As of August 22, 2005, the IPC, the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, that's a mouthful, officially declared famine in parts of Gaza. Over 500,000 are in state of starvation. Over 500,000 people are starving. That's not coming from Hamas. This is coming from a third party. Why are we still having this conversation? Why is this still... You see what I'm saying? Overall, 100% of Gaza's population is experiencing high levels of acute food insecurities, with approximately 32% projected to be catastrophic phase 5 conditions by September 30th, 2025. But yeah, Israel has the right to defend itself, right? That's your excuse? Oh, Hamas this, Hamas that. That's your excuse still? Hey, guess what? I got a bridge to sell you, okay? Just go ahead, PayPal me $2 million and I will FedEx an entire bridge to you overnight, okay? I'm just saying, if you're that gullible, if you're that stupid, Lord help us all. All right, let's once again, I got to learn how to be more nice. Let's go ahead and watch this smackdown. Once again, this is an idiot who's once again getting paid to just be that idiot. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't care about his name. I don't care about where he's from. I don't care about his job position. He is an idiot, a hateful, evil idiot. And if I could say more on YouTube without getting in trouble, I would say it. But unfortunately, I got banned once. I don't want to get banned again. So I honestly, I don't care about his name. That's simple. All right, let's get into the conversation. All right.
Unprecedented in modern times.
All right.
Danny Ayalon, thank you for joining me on Mehdi Unfiltered. The level of mass killing in Gaza has been almost unprecedented in modern times. One report in the Lancet Medical Journal suggested the real death toll may end up being as high as 180,000 dead. The Economist said it could be 109,000 dead. The scientific journal Nature cites a study showing 84,000 dead, while the Gaza Health Ministry, rather conservatively, is reporting a total of 62,000 Palestinians killed in Gaza as of this month. But
180,000, which is the high end. I'm just saying, man, I don't want to say anything. If you're defending that, whatever happens to you deserves to happen to you. You're a hateful person. And honestly, a waste of air. You are a waste of area for other people. You're defending that? Wow. Got you. Okay. Continue.
Look, whether it's 109,000, 84,000, or just 62,000, I have to ask, Danny, how does someone like yourself, how do you sleep at night knowing that your country, the government you support, is responsible for the deaths of so many thousands of people, women, children, the elderly?
Well, Mehdi, first of all, shalom to you, salam, peace to you and to all the viewers. Inshallah, I hope we will get it there soon. As to your question, I'll tell you, when we see all these horrible, and there's no other way to describe it, horrible pictures in Gaza, I can tell you that Israelis think of one thing, and this is October 7th. October 7th was probably the hardest day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust. Just think about that. And does it...
All right. Hey, okay. Here's some information. All right. This is what I was looking for. It would take about 70 October 7th. Okay. About 1,139 people, Israelis, were killed on October 7th. It would take 70 October 7th to equal the lowball number, 80,000 Palestinian deaths. It would take 70 October 7th. So unfortunately, I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care how you feel about the Holocaust. I don't care if this was the worst incident since the Holocaust. Guess what? I don't care. That doesn't give you the right to, let alone kill this many innocent people and then defend it on top of that. And you want to start the conversation off with October 7th, the Holocaust? Guess what? I don't care. Do not care. I'm sorry. Sorry if that hurts your feelings. But hey, man, we in reality today. I'm sorry.
Justify all the death? No. But is it explaining why Israel has to do what it has to do? Yes, it's a matter of self-defense. We do not like to have people who are not involved, but this is the scourge of war. And here I can tell you that, and again, I don't want to go to the numbers. We have an issue with the numbers because mostly it is based on Hamas numbers and it's manipulative. But I can tell you that wars, you look at if just we think of recent wars, whether it was in Fallujah or in Mosul, the ratio was 10-1 between terrorists that were killed and uninvolved. I hope and I believe that this is not the same ratio in Gaza, although again, it's not a solace to anyone. But
so I'll come back to the ratio in a moment. I'm glad you raised the ratio. But you just mentioned something else. You said October the 7th is what explains it for Israelis. And over 1,000 people were killed on October 7th, horrifically. You also mentioned that the numbers from the Hamas ministry are manipulated. They can't be trusted. And yet Israel's own generals, Danny, in private, we now know they take those numbers at face value. I want you to have a listen to this recording of General Aharon Halevi, who was Israel's military intelligence chief on October the 7th. Liking this video?
Hey.
Don't just watch the show. What's saying on tape in private?
That's crazy. That's crazy. I need to read this. It says, the fact that 50,000 have already been killed in Gaza is crucial for future generations. For everything that happened on October 7th, for one person on October 7th, 50 Palestinians have to die. That's crazy. And you still think Israel is like trying to be precise and, not kill innocent people. Like they're trying. They're the most moral army in the world. At least that's what they tell me, right? But you have one of their people, one of their top officials saying for one person on October 7th, 50 Palestinians have to die. Oh, that's not a genocide. Okay, got you. Okay.
Danny, not only is that Israeli general openly endorsing the killing of Palestinian children and saying that October 7th justifies you guys killing 50 Palestinians for every Israeli, outrageously, but he also cites the Gaza Health Ministry's death toll at that time. He says 50,000 dead. General Halevi doesn't question it, so why are you?
Okay, so I have twofold answers. First of all, General Halevi misspoke. Secondly, he is not in uniforms anymore. He's retired. And thirdly, if you listen to him, what he says is what should be in his mind. He didn't say that, he said this is what should be the result. This is not
that's not true, Danny. He said there are already 50,000 dead in Gaza. He was acknowledging the death toll that you won't acknowledge.
Well, maybe, I don't know why he said that. Again, I think
because it's the truth, Danny. Because it's the truth in private. In private, Israelis admit to the truth. That's why he said it, surely.
No. I think what he said it's in order to kind of make himself less vulnerable, because he is the one accused for not having the intelligence. He was the chief intelligence officer. But I'll tell you, Mehdi, there is one easy way to stop everything. Hamas leaving Gaza, not controlling Gaza, stop the terror, and these are...
Of course, yeah, dodge the question, dodge the substance of the conversation. And once again, I listened to this entire 46-minute video. If I got paid $1 for every time he said, but Hamas, I could probably, I don't know, buy me a new car. I'm just saying, I could probably put a good down payment on a new 2025 vehicle right now. But Hamas, you see what I'm saying? Like they stop trying to be creative with the excuses. They stop trying to like give us good lies. Like at least be creative with it. But no, I mean, Hamas, I don't care what our top general said about killing 50 Palestinian people for every one October 7th Israeli. No, I mean, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about Hamas, though. That was really Hamas in the recording. Really. You just don't know because, they're lying to you or something. But let's go to the next point here. Let's see right here.
From around the world, story or not, get distracted, as you say. Let's not be distracted. Let's focus on the core issue. You say you want peace. You began the interview saying you want peace. You say that these ratios are irrelevant. All right, let's talk about specific examples then, not about ratios or percentages. On Monday, Israel struck the Nasser hospital not once, but twice, killing at least 20 people, including 5 journalists, multiple first responders who had rushed to the scene, Danny, after the first strike to pull people out of the rubble. And then they were hit, and 3 of those journalists were killed in a second strike. A double tap, the kind of thing that Al-Qaeda and ISIS in Iraq used to do, what Assad has done in Syria, what Putin has done in Ukraine. Those are war crimes, are they not? Attacking a hospital without warning, killing journalists, killing first responders in multiple strikes, and then saying it was a mistake. No, it was deliberate, cold-blooded.
It was a mistake.
Well, Mehdi, here I think we do agree on the facts on the ground. Why do we agree? Because it is investigated specifically. And this was something that, we do not do. So we are not acting...
Hold on. You did it, Danny. Hold on. You can't say we do not do. You did it. Israel did it.
No, I'll tell you what's the difference. The difference is that Putin, Hamas, Assad, they never apologized for any death. Here, Netanyahu himself, the IDF, they said it was a mistake and we apologize. And when we apologize, it means we are going to investigate and correct the things.
Okay, hold on. But why do it in the first place? It wasn't an accident. You did a double tap strike on a hospital. An apology is not enough when you do a war crime like that.
Hey, bars. Like, can you imagine someone having the nerve to strike a hospital? No warning, like he said, we already know. And then, I think it was 9 minutes later, after, paramedics and, journalists, regular civilians trying to rush to the scene because, they shot with a tank at a hospital. So, of course, the natural response is going to, hey, let's try to help some people. 9 minutes later, they strike again, killing more people. And then they say, oh, my bad. That was an accident. I apologize. And I'm going to have my people investigate my people. And we're going to make sure, pinky promise to hold them accountable. Once again, I got that bridge. I got 2 bridges. $2 million each for anybody who believes that. Okay, I'm just saying.
No, well, from what I understand is that there was a position. See, that's part of the problem. When Hamas is embedded, when Hamas is using their own population, their civil population
God.
as human shields, when they put whether it's surveillance or guns on top of mosques and hospitals,
There were no guns on
they
top of the
are
NASA hospital,
a
as you know. That's a
legitimate
lie.
target anymore.
Danny Ayalon, there were no
By the
guns
way,
on top of the NASA hospital.
Mehdi, just
That's a lie. Can we just clarify? That is a lie. There were no guns on top of the NASA hospital.
Listen, you know that according to the Geneva Convention,
Yeah.
if a hospital or any other civilian place is used for terror, it's a legitimate target.
So you did attack it deliberately.
There was.
Hold on, is it an accident or did you attack it deliberately? You're telling me two different things at the same time.
It was okay. It was attacked deliberately because the soldiers on the ground saw that there was a surveillance camera there that is directing snipers at them. Now, what was, from what I understand, what was the mistake? The mistake was that they did not use a pinpoint like a drone, something just at the camera. They used a tank. And this is what we're investigating. Who gave the order to do it with a tank? They shouldn't have done it with a tank.
Danny,
Okay, first off, once again, I never been in the military. I never shot a tank. I never sent a drone to explode people. So maybe I just don't know. Okay, so forgive me if I get this wrong. But how do you accidentally shoot a tank round instead of a drone? Like, how do you make that mistake? Like, were the buttons right next to each other? You know what I'm saying? And did someone like switch their tags on the two? And it was like, oh shoot, let me hit this button. Oh no, we shot, okay. We got a second time, guys. Let's get this right. And they hit the button again, and then another attack in the same spot. 9 minutes later. How does that work? Once again, here's a hint. It doesn't, okay? Don't hurt yourself trying to figure it out. They did it on purpose. And once again, like Bill Burr said, I will never forget it. Like the entire excuse, oh man, Hamas is using human shields. They're, using civilians to, blah, blah, whatever the case is. That doesn't work. If you're mad at your neighbor and you want to fight your neighbor and, your neighbor has one of those, straps where, they put their baby in front of them, are you going to say, I don't care, and I'm going to punch through the baby to hit my neighbor? No, you're not. You're going to try to like punch around maybe, or kick them, or maybe fight another day where they're not strapped with their baby or something. But the excuse can't be, oh, I need to kill Hamas, so I'm going to kill everybody who's in my way. I'm sorry. You don't care. Just say that. Like, you will still be evil and a waste of air, but if you were just honest and say, hey, I just want to wipe these people off the face of the earth, at least we know who we're dealing with. But don't sit here and try to lie and say, oh, they had a camera system on top of the hospital, so we had to strike it twice. Come on.
Isn't the problem here that you say there's an investigation? I've been following this conflict. I've been following Gaza for many years. You and I have spoken many times over the years. The Israeli investigations are worthless, are they not? Let me give you an example. In March.
No.
Well, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example, and then you can respond. Hold on, Danny. Let me give you an example, and then you can respond. In March, near Rafah, a group of 15 paramedics and aid workers driving in clearly marked emergency vehicles and uniforms were shot and killed by the Israeli military, who claimed after the killings that they were advancing suspiciously, that the lights were not on, that there were Hamas fighters on board, that they were in a combat zone. None of those things turned out to be true. Sky News, other media investigated this using satellite imagery, audio recordings. All of the Israeli claims turned out to be false. Israel admitted the claims were false. Those paramedics were killed in cold blood, one by one, according to the UN. Some from as close as 12 meters away. Gunshot wounds to the head and torso. Paramedics in uniform. They were then buried in a mass grave. Their ambulances were crushed. The entire thing was a cover-up. Israel says we're going to investigate it. Do you know how many soldiers were prosecuted as a result of that investigation? 0. The deputy commander was fired. Danny, 15 people were killed. Not a single Israeli soldier was charged, let alone prosecuted.
All right. Right now, tell me what you think his response is going to be. Let me know right now in the comments. If you're watching this live, Let me know in the chat. If you're watching this whenever, let me know in the comments. I want to know what you think his response is going to be. And trust me, it's not going to be a genuine, heartfelt understanding of the situation. No, it is not that. Okay. All right. And about to play.
Because, I don't know about Sky News or whatever, but we are on the ground and Hamas was using them as cover. And again, the problem
there was no Hamas in those
Oh
ambulances,
my
Danny.
God.
We have the audio
I'm telling you.
recordings. They were killed in cold blood.
No, Mehdi, no. If Hamas was not using their own people as, as cannon fodder, as human shields, none of this would have happened. And by the way, when I say that we left Gaza, and you say yes, but
okay, and then he's just gonna talk some more nonsense. Once again, if you guys want to watch this entire interview, of course you guys know who Hasan is, Mehdi. Like, go watch it. So it's 40 minutes, but we'll be here all day. But I will literally pass out by the amount of times he's blaming Hamas. And once again, they're not allowing journalists to go in. They're killing all the journalists that were there. Well, over 240 now, plus what happened last week. So easily over 250 at this point, give or take. How are we supposed to know what is going on? In their strategy, this news source don't know what they're talking about. Oh, this news source is ran by Hamas. Oh, this news source is lying. So let me tell you the truth. Really, once again, I was born that night, but not last night. You see what I'm saying? Don't try to play me like that. It doesn't work. But of course, Hamas, Hamas is doing all these things. So we gotta shoot through all these paramedics. We gotta shoot straight through their face to get to Hamas, right? I don't know. I've never been in war, so maybe it's just something I don't understand, right? Just kill innocent people to get to the enemy. Once again, Hamas reportedly been around, has around 10,000, or at least had around 10,000 deep. Some of the higher estimates of Palestinian deaths, like Mehdi said, is 190 or 180,000. Damn, what is going on here? But of course, we got idiots defending them. So hey, great time to be a human being, huh?
Yeah. Let's see how you do under pressure. I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra.